Hey guys, it's Shawzo here, and welcome back to the series where I'm rebuilding the entire Commonwealth, and this time we have built on Finch Farm. I've turned it into a Minutemen outpost because it's perfect for it really. There's a massive highway that you can build on, so we can look on all directions, and it is quite a dangerous area. So go ahead and sit back and relax, grab yourself a hot drink, because I'm going to show you how I built the place with a nice tour at the end. Enjoy guys. So we are pretty much starting with the basics, just a horrible farm, a little shack and a load of garbage, so let's see what we can do. And by the way, we are right next to some super mutants, and yeah, as you would expect, they're not very friendly. And on top of that, I think we're next to some gunners as well, so hopefully they won't cause us any trouble whilst building. And because we are sandwiched right in between them, I think the best bet is to send some Minutemen soldiers in first, and we're going to go ahead and build a wall throughout the entire settlement, so let's get into it. And after a little bit of time and effort, the walls are finally up. I've thrown on some decorations just to save me a bit of time later. And we've also put the flags up just to make it clear that the Minutemen are in business in this location, so no one should mess with us. So now it's time to decide what we're going to do on the inside. And as I said earlier, there is a load of garbage around this shack which you can't scrap. But fortunately you can scrap the cars next to it. So we'll just get rid of those, and we're going to have to work around with the rest. And of course this is where the pillar glitch comes in. I'm simply just going to sink some walls and make a nice barricade going all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that off, and I'll see you in a second. And there we go, that looks much better, doesn't it? Keeps it all nice and tidy, and the idea is it's going to be like a little junkyard. So now I'm going to move on to the shack itself, because I think it deserves some kind of extension on the side where the workshop is. Because it only seems appropriate really. There's loads of space, there's not too many bushes in the way. And I'm starting off with these cloth rooftops because it always brings a nice bit of colour into the build. And as you can probably guess, this will be like the workshop area where there's going to be like a load of tools and shovels and stuff like that. To the side of it, there's going to be a staircase in this perfect little spot. And I'm having to double it up because it just won't reach, but with the pillar it makes it possible. And this staircase will allow progress onto the top for another extension using the scaffolding frames. Now that the framework's done, we're simply going to put up a ramp and a platform above. And as you could probably guess, this is going to be like a little defense post, keeping eyes and ears in all directions. So yeah, it's going to be quite effective, along with these barricades, because yeah, you need barricades. Now with the front of it, I want to hide the framework, and there is a sweet spot with these half walls. It should just sit on there, and then the second one should just clip on. Now with the other sides, I'm going to have to use the pillar glitch because, yeah, it's the only option really. So I've doubled it up and we're going to pick up the whole thing. And I've also put down a barn foundation because you can sink the pillar onto that, and that just makes you reach up a bit more. Again, there'll be another sweet spot that kind of sits in there. With the other side, I'm going to have to triple it up because I'm going to have to do it at this angle because you need to reach in there a bit more. And this is the most effective way in my opinion. And then once that's in there, we'll just delete the wall that's sticking out. And around the back, I'm simply just going to use the rug glitch because, yeah, it's the most effective way back here. And that is the shack extension finished. I like the fact that it's not too much, but very functional at the same time. And we've got plenty of space underneath the framework for some storage, maybe for some guns and ammo for the defense post. I'm now going to move over to the other side of the settlement where this farm is. And I'm going to get rid of it, but I'm going to reintroduce it a bit later in somewhat way because I'm going to turn these grounds into a training ground. Reason being, it's a nice flat area, not many bushes, and yeah, it's perfect for a big platform. And I'm going to start with the corner here as that's a good starting point for the foundation, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that off. Finishing up on it, as you can see, I've added a load of barricades, some staircases, and I've also kept the middle open because that's going to be a boxing ring, and surrounding that will be the training grounds like some lifting weights and target shooting and so on. Now in the surrounding area, I've just put a couple of shacks here and there, maybe for some extra storage or power, but that's pretty much the bottom half of it finished. But now it's time to move on the highway above, and yes, as you probably guessed, you can build up there. But we need to find a realistic way of getting up there, so let's try and figure that out. I think a good thing to start leaning towards is these big pillars underneath, and I'm going to try and use that as a way of getting up from our settlement down below. And I'm going to start with this staircase, and I'm just going to aim it towards it and then start building upwards. Once we get to the top, I'm going to grab myself a small little platform And there should be a little sweet spot for the platform to sit on. I think you need to do it at a slight angle, but it's not too hard. And now it's just a case of reconnecting all the staircases, but starting from that platform. And this should go back down perfectly within the settlement. Only thing is I need to add another staircase at the bottom, which won't snap on, but it should glitch through nicely. Now that's done, we'll walk upwards and start finishing off the platform going all the way around. And you do have quite a bit of freedom with this massive pillar because it glitches through nicely, making it look nice and secure. Now that's all done with some barricades, I've added another staircase coming from the concrete pillar just for some more support, and I've connected that up and it looks pretty secure in my opinion. But now you're asking, where do we go from here? Now it's pretty easy actually, because I found an access hole right underneath here. And I know what you're thinking, it doesn't look accessible, but I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do it. It's pretty simple from here, you just add on another platform with another staircase, and I'm going to build along from there with a second staircase pointing in the opposite direction, and this should poke out the hole above us. I'm also going to put a couple of half pillars because these sit perfectly within the metal frame of the bridge. And coming up the top, as you can see, you come through nicely. All I'm going to do now is just put another small ladder on the other side. And there we go. That is our staircase finished. It looks nice and secure. Yes, it could have done with some rails on the staircase, but I much prefer these stairs. But in terms of support, I'm quite happy with it. I've done the same thing on the other side, but that's not to get up. That's purely just for defense, but I thought I might as well. So yeah, now it's time to move on to the highway itself. So what to do? It's definitely going to be some kind of fortress, I think. Definitely to look out on all directions. So what I'm going to do is start using these concrete walls because that's perfect for a fortress. And what I've done is lined it up against the railing here. Might take you a few tries to get it perfect, but I've done it in a way which I can build the walls in a complete straight line going across this rail. You might have to build along to find out if you are in the right position, but it didn't take long. As I've built around the corner, I've hit a barricade which I can't build through, so I'm going to have to use these pillars going around and then carrying on that wall, keeping it nice and parallel. There is a way of filling this gap, but that's linked to the extension that I'm going to be doing shortly. But in conclusion, that is the walls finished. It's absolutely parallel on either side. The only thing is that there's a gap bang in the middle. But I'm quite happy because that first wall that I put down made this all possible. Now we can't have walls with dodgy flooring, so we're going to have to patch up some flaws here and there, and there is quite a lot of them. And luckily you can use the pillar on this highway, which opens up the door to endless ideas in my opinion. The same thing with the Grey Garden build, you can just do anything you want really. But the simple thing to do first is patch up these flaws, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now that we have a solid floor, it's time to fill in the gaps in the middle, and this is going to involve the extension that I was going to do. So starting off, I'm going to be using these thick floors as a rooftop, and this should allow me to force a wall into the concrete barricade. I don't know why it works like this, but I'm not going to argue with it, it just works. On the other side, you can do this endless amount of times across this barricade, but I'm going to keep it this size actually because it's going to be the entrance to the highway, along with a nice mesh window. And on top, I've added a little defense post. It's going to look much better when I decorate the place, but as you can see, I've done the other side as well, just to keep everything parallel. Now we need some big watchtowers, and I think these elevators are the best thing to use, but I can't clip it into the concrete walls. So I'm having to use a normal floor, and this will allow me to get it in there perfectly. And I'll finish off with some warehouse walls just to dress it up a bit. And there we have it, it's already looking very intimidating. I've also done it on the other side, again keeping it nice and parallel, keeping eyes and ears everywhere. And we might as well test one of them out as there's super mutants in the distance. I put on a silencer just so we can stay hidden, but I want to do some target practice. So yeah, let's have a go on this one. Ooh. Let's do one more. And yeah, this tower's pretty cool, nice and simple. It's just an elevator that gets you up there. And of course it looks nice and scrappy. So now we're going to move on to the inside, and there is plenty more to do. This is going to be like a training ground / living area, as well as a watchtower. It's going to be a nice mixture. So bang in the middle here, I'm going to put these shack foundations, and I'm going to do 4 across the concrete barricades. Because I'm actually going to put a big bus in the middle. And this is going to be like the main source of ammunition, guns and armor and so on. So we'll just try and keep that central in the middle. And yeah, this is going to be well protected as it's in the fortress, and we can use the windows as well to snipe from, because you can slightly see above the walls. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. With this side next to the elevator, I'm just going to put down some flooring with some walls. Very standard, but this is going to be like the living quarters. I'm going to put some slanted rooftops on top. Nothing too fancy, it's just some shelter for some beds and some living areas. Just like with the bottom side, I do like to scatter some shelters here and there, because of course it's going to rain occasionally, so we need some shelter for the outdoor kind of living areas. Behind the scenes, I've added a couple more shelters with that cloth rooftop just to add a bit of colour. But in conclusion, that is the entire settlement finished. I'm really happy with this one. I would say this is a fair comparison with my Grey Garden build, because you got a highway on both settlements, so let me know in the comments which one that you like the best. Anyways, I'm going to decorate the place and I'll see you in a tour. And here it is. I've really enjoyed this transformation. Lots and lots of little details as usual, so let's have a little walk around and I'll show you around the place. Hey, what's up guys, how's it going? So yeah, another Minutemen outpost. We've got a sign here saying we are the Minutemen, we offer protection 24/7 and we are rebuilding the Commonwealth, which we are technically halfway now. As you can see, there's a few bullet holes there. We've had a few fights behind the scenes with the super mutants, but no, it was easy to sort out. Now I said earlier I was going to find a way to move the food. There's a lot of dead bushes down here, so I've just put mutt fruit within the bushes because they're in the way anyway, so I thought I'd just add on to it. It does make sense instead of having like a dedicated farm, which this isn't really a farm settlement for the sort of narrative I want to go for. It's more of a training ground for the Minutemen. To the right, a couple of stalls, some food and drink. We've also got an armory, so we can sort of trade guns and ammo and stuff like that. A little power armor workshop area. Up here is the defense post. Of course, you need at least one for the entrance. And yeah, this is my take on a boxing ring. I did one at the Starlight Driving settlement. I feel like this is much better. One, because it is square this time, and I've actually managed to put the arena platforms within it, so when I assign a settler onto it, they do actually box if you give them some boxing gloves, which this guy is waiting for. I'm going to be giving you some night shots a bit later. I do have a couple of clips of a couple of people boxing, so yeah, look forward to that. And surrounding it is just a bunch of free weights. Back here is just some storage. It's very bushy, so I didn't really want to include that. Table for the boxing ring, bunch of rags, boxing gloves, stuff like that. And yeah, it actually corners itself onto the pillar, which is quite handy. We've got a bell. Some more gym stuff, and yeah, just a couple of chairs here and there to watch the boxing matches. Yeah, there's a lot of these bushes scattered around, so there's just mutt fruit in random areas, but we've got a good food source. Just another bench. I turned this into an armory for the security post down here. There's some security stuff up on the highway, of course, but they need some storage down here as well. As you would expect, guns and ammo. Couple of gas masks. This is the workshop. Just put some tools and things like that. Scientific workshop, load of quantums. Let's show you that security post, why not? So of course you can't get up the highway from here, but I've used it just purely for defense. And we've got a simple chair and table, and you can look out onto the right and left, but yeah, the broken bridge is a bit annoying, but it does the job mostly. As you can see, there's some fighting going over there. So yeah, we can see some stuff. Going back down, I also love putting containers here and there, just random fridges, just adds to it really. Because it is quite a junky settlement. I might as well show you up here as well. I've managed to put, you can't really put a lot of boxes underneath the frames as it's quite restrictive, but I've managed to put a couple here and there. This is the perfect barricade for a defense post up here. Just a bench, little barbecue for some food, just anything that you'd expect to be up here really. Back around here, again, more annoying bushes. I've decided to keep the cars back here because, again, it just adds to it. I don't really have to add much stuff back here. I don't think I would have anyway because it's very grassy, very hilly. You can't really do much back here. We'll have a look at the highway last, but yeah, we need to still look at the shack.
Good supply of clean water. Things will be
This is the junkyard. I've kept it open on this section, and I've just added to it. Just added random stuff, big bulky stuff. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I put a few fire pits here and there. Yeah, looks like a junkyard. And lastly, the shack. This is the Minutemen office, so any trade deals go on in here, or if anyone wants to join. So we're open to trade, companions available, and if you shoot us, you won't survive, basically, because there is a lot of us. I didn't really change much with this because there was already stuff in here, like the beds, the shelves, and it was already fully decorated. So all I did was put the desk in and added a load more decorations, really, like the fan, a couple of bottles here and there. And there's these cool signs everywhere that were already there. I didn't really have to do much, to be honest. Right, so let's move on to the highway. And of course, that is my favourite bit. Again, I would like to know your guys' opinion on this staircase. I'd say it's much better than the Grey Garden one. A bit more supported. Back here is just, yeah, this is used for security as well as going up. You might as well use the platform. Again, another broken bridge, but not a bad view, to be honest. We'll go back up here. I always love putting just small bits and pieces on small platforms here. You might as well. And I know it looks like you can't go through that, and some of you would argue that that's not realistic, but I didn't really want to have access to the side of the bridge. I wanted to take advantage of one of the holes. So, yeah. I mean, you can access it, so alright, there's no point arguing about it. And yeah, this is where people go up if they want to join. This is where the training starts. So you get your Minutemen outfit, you get your musket, yeah, and then you just proceed into here. Very much a outdoors living type of area. You got a workshop under this shelter. Of course, we've got beds that side. I'll show you that in a minute. I've dressed up the defence post up here, just with items that you would expect. We've got a good look on the gunners over there, so they haven't actually caused us any issues yet. I thought it'd be a good idea to put the benches across this barricade with a little table. And we'll go around here this way first. I put a few windows because, yeah, I want eyes and ears everywhere because it is quite a dangerous spot. It's not the best place to build unless it's a Minutemen outpost, really. This is the living area for the trainees and for the official Minutemen soldiers. A couple of beds, sofa, table, just very simple stuff. And I thought I'd put a shooting range as well. And we've got a traffic light, so if it goes red you can't walk through it to get to the elevator. So, and if it's green you can, because that is access to one of the defence posts. And then under this shelter, just a workshop for turrets. Round here, just another window to look out on the sea over there. And yeah, this is the main armory. I know we've got one downstairs, but this is the big boy one. We've got big guns, ammo, a few chems here and there. Yeah, I've made use with what I can. You can also snipe from up here. As I said earlier, it's just above the wall. Might have to be careful when you get some ammunition though. We put a cooking area as well. Nothing fancy, does the job. Yeah, we've seen around there. Another kind of living area. This time there's fancier beds. So yeah, this is where the official soldiers stay because yeah, you've got nicer beds. And I didn't do a shooting range this side. I just put some more storage. Again, access to the tower. Now you're probably wondering, how the hell have I got power up here? Well, I've started the power from the bottom, of course, and I've stunk all the pillars underground using the pillar glitch, and then I sort of put connectors up on the pillar, and did the same thing on the highway. Really, I just sunk some pylons into the ground. Yes, they are visible underneath, but you barely even look up there anyway, and it's not really noticeable. So that's how I've spread the power. We've put a jail, because you need a jail for a settlement like this. The one thing I love about doing jails is you don't really need to decorate it. It just makes life a bit easier. Just a couple of mattresses, a chair. I forgot what these are called. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and think of it. Like a trap thing, I don't know. Toilet, yeah, just very standard. Don't have to do a lot of that. Got a defense post. Yeah, a lot of defense posts. I've probably said defense post at least 20 times in this video, but it's that type of settlement. Yeah, that is pretty much the tour finished. I do want to show you one more thing before we end the video. Might as well jump over here. As most of you are probably aware, I put in my community notes that unfortunately my dad passed away about a week ago now, I think. As you can imagine, it's been really, really hard. I'm going to try and not cry on camera. I don't want to be that type of person, but if it comes out, it comes out. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not going to say how he died because I don't think that's necessary, but all I just want to say was he was the best dad I could ask for. He was my best friend in a way, and if your dad's your best friend, I think you've won that kind of fatherhood badge. Do you know what I mean? I remember when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I used to love showing off my dad, and because I just thought he was a cool dad, you know, and a lot of my friends did think he was cool. It's such a shame because me and my girlfriend are expecting our kid, our first baby, in a couple months, and it's just a shame that he's passed away just before that. I'm quite happy that he knew that he was going to be a granddad, and yeah, it's just quite sad. I managed to say goodbye to him. I said a few words, and I'm happy that we said what we needed to say, because not a lot of people have an opportunity to say what they want to say before a loved one dies, you know. I basically said to him, like, the values and confidence that you put into me, I'll be putting into my own son, and I said I love you for that. And he couldn't really talk that much, but he managed to get the words "I love you" too out, and it really it's brought me some comfort in this horrible situation. But yeah, he was the best dad you can ask for, and it sounds a bit silly, probably not, but I put like a little memorial here for him. I just thought it'd be nice, really, because you guys I can tell you guys how much of a lovely person he was, how much of a great dad he was, and it'd be nice to just have this video up and just sort of showcase that information, you know. And he would be really touched that I've done this. I know he would. And he's been very supportive with this YouTube.
Yes.
Even though he didn't quite understand the videos, he still watched them and sort of supported it. And yeah, of course, I had to put this video on pause for a little bit because of the situation. There was only a little bit to finish off. He would want me to finish this off, and I thought it'd be a nice thing to do to add him into it. I'm going to show him a picture of me and him at the end of this video after the night shots, because yeah, I'd like you guys to know what he looked like. But yeah, he was I don't know, I feel numb at this point, as you can probably guess. I've been crying a lot. But yeah, I don't know when my next video is going to be. I'll keep you guys updated regardless, but yeah, it's going to take time. Yeah, anyways, thank you very much for watching this tour. I'm going to give you some night shots, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. So yeah, here's the night shots. Again, I never like to light it up too much. I just like to rely on flames here and there, like lanterns, fire pits and so on, because it's the apocalypse. You don't want to add too much attraction, do you? I just want to thank you all very much for the supportive comments. It's been very helpful throughout this grief. I've even shown my family and it's helped them in ways. Anyways, I'm gonna end this video with a picture of me and my dad, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.